In today's tutorial, learn how to make the rich textured tote. This is full of great stitches that you're going to love. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. In today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to make this rich textured tote. This is an amazing project. We've taught this before in a live workshop. It's actually a lot simpler than many people realize. We're going to be learning how to use a crochet diagram today within this project. So let's get off the picnic table, off the beach, back to the studio, and let me show you how to get started on this tote right away. In today's tutorial, we're going to make a tote bag together. This is called the Rich Textures Tote. This is the very first project I ever did cabling on when it comes to crochet, and in fact I only did it last year in 2014. So really the whole cabling element for me is something new. Now this is an amazing project because what we're going to be able to do today is to show you how to make the cables and how to perform those miracles, I guess you can say, to create this amazing stitch. Now if you really look at it from head on, you will notice that the stitch basically is just kind of weaving in and out like so with some spaces in between. I'm going to be showing you some secrets today on how to follow the pattern. There's a diagram that's also included and I strongly recommend that you use that. Now if you're not familiar with diagrams, this is a great project to be able to start using diagrams, and we're going to be talking about that a lot within today's tutorial. So here's what the bag looks like in the pattern. It's kind of a indigo kind of black idea. The original that we chose for this particular series, if you're doing the challenges with Yarnspirations for 2015, we kind of went with the same color because we kind of really like the look of it when it's in person. It's kind of harder to see on the pattern just like so. So all of the instructions are there and you can follow the written words if you prefer, but what I really wanted to look for is there any crochet diagrams to go along with it. So when I go and look at it, and by the way this pattern is a free pattern for you to download, so you can just go to the more information of this video in order to access it. But we're going to start off with doing the base of the bag just like so, and then we're going to work up and do the sides of the bag just like you see right here. And so it becomes a really easy process if you can follow the diagram, because you can actually physically kind of see where the stitches are going to go. So within today's pattern you're going to need 5 balls of lily sugar and cream, and those we chose for indigo, but you can do it in any color that you wish. Strongly recommend that you stay within the cotton yarn family. Cotton yarn is more durable and it can hold the weight that you would want to put inside of a bag. Now all of the special instructions are available in the abbreviations just like so, and also you're going to need a 5mm size H crochet hook today in order to work with it. And this is a really easy, and it's so easy when you follow the diagram. I cannot emphasize that anymore. So what we're going to do today is that I'm going to stop in between each one of the filming, and I'm going to review the diagram that we're working on, because this is a great project to be able to follow along. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the main base like this, and then once you have completed this chart we kind of move up to the sides of the bag just like so. So where this chart leaves off here just like there, the next chart picks up on it. So it's actually kind of a really cool concept. So without further ado, let's grab our crochet hook and some yarn and let's get started. So let's get started. We're going to create a slip knot to begin, and I have the instructions just off the camera view. You can't see it, but I can see it because I have the diagram there sitting waiting for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by chaining 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and let's insert our hook into the beginning chain to form the center ring of the very bottom of your bag just like so. And once you get that done, we're ready then to start playing more with this bag. So right now we have just finished off the center of the ring just like so. We're going to chain 3, and remember the chaining of 3 counts as a double crochet in the rules of crochet. So what we're going to do is double crochet 7 more times within the center ring to give you a total of 8. So we're going to do that next. So let's begin. Let's chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and let's double crochet 7 more times into the center of the ring. So wrap the hook and go into the center of the ring, and we'll count those as we go. So that was 1 and 2, and notice how I'm trapping this one in as it's part of the ring, and therefore you'll never see the loose end at the end. Okay, this is 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7. Just like so. So with the chaining of 3 that you counted in the very beginning, you should have a total of 8. So we're gonna count that first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, so once you get that done, you just want to slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain 3. So just go right to the beginning chain 3, yarn over and pull through. And that is the very center of your bag, just like so. What I'd recommend, get that straggler out of the way. You've buried it at this point. Grab your scissors, cut that puppy off, get it out of your way, and now you're ready for the next round of your bag. So we're now moving up to the next round of our bag, and I'm highlighting as I go off camera so that I can know where I am. And this is the kind of stuff I do behind the scenes that you never really see anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by chaining 2, and every time now from this going forward we're always going to chain 2 whenever we move up, and we're going to start putting into the front double crochets, front post double crochet. We're gonna start with that, and then this one right here, see how it's looking like it's going into nothing? Well, we're gonna go into the space in between these two double crochets right here, and then we're gonna be back into the front post and then into the space again, and we're gonna do that all the way around. So coming from here on forward, every time we chain 2 to start up a new line just like so, that doesn't count as any stitches. That's just us moving up so that we can keep the consistent look of the cabling as we go forward. So let's begin again. We're going to chain 2 as I promised, 1 and 2. Remember, that's not gonna count as anything. That's just going to be just a standalone. This is just allowing us to get going up higher. So what we need to do is we need to come back down to the post that it's directly underneath, and we're gonna do a double crochet front post. And so how to do that is that we wrap the hook and we go in around the post itself, so in through one side, out through the other, and then we're gonna wrap the yarn and pull through, and then we're gonna pull through 2 and 2. So it's a double crochet but using the front post, and we're gonna do that every other stitch around here. So in the instructions, the next one is a double crochet, and it's in between this double crochet and this one. Okay, this is kind of unusual, so you're gonna double crochet right into the space that's in between, so right in between the 2. And then the next one is going to be a front post double crochet. So just wrap the hook going in to the post through one side and out through the other, pull through 2 and 2. Okay, so then the next one is going to be into the gap space as a double crochet, and then the next one is gonna be a front post double crochet or double crochet front post. Like so. You want to continue that same pattern going all the way around. You're starting now to build the cables. So remember, the next one is going to be a double crochet, and then the next one is a double crochet front post. Like so. Do that same configuration going all the way around. We're coming up to the end, and we're just gonna do the last front post double crochet like so. But you're not done. Think about this for a second. If you started with the front post double crochet here, and there's one right here, what's happened to the one right in the middle? So do not forget that you need to go to that one space right in the middle to double crochet before you can finish that row. So once you get that in, you are going to slip stitch to the top of the first front post double crochet right here, not to the chain 2. The chain 2 is kind of like a building, a scaffold for moving up the stitches, but it's not acting as anything that we want to secure to. So what's gonna happen right as you look at it right now, you should have front post double crochet and then a regular front post regular, front post regular, and that should be all the way around. Now if there was 8 stitches last time, there should be a total of 16. Let's move along to the next part. In round number 3, we're going to start off and we're going to do a chaining of 2, and then we're going to do our front post double crochet right into the same front post double crochet that we had already done in round number 2. So it goes directly down. So the cables are kind of following each other, as you can see within this diagram. We're then gonna chain 2, and then we're going to single crochet into that double crochet that we put into the space, chain 2, and then front post into the next one, chain 2, and then a single crochet back into that double crochet that's in the middle. So let's start to do that next. Let's begin row number 3. We're going to immediately chain up 2, and we are going to put it in, okay, we are going to put in a front post double crochet into the same front post double crochet that we had already put in there before. Okay, so that chaining of 2 is kind of like scaffolding. So now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to single crochet into the next double crochet that's available to you. Okay, so this is allowing the circle to get slightly bigger, and then chain 2, and then we're gonna front post double crochet into the next front post double crochet. So this is making the cabling kind of opening up just like you see, so the cables are gonna kind of split. So chain 2, single crochet into the next double crochet that's in the space, and then chain 2, and then front post double crochet into the next front post double crochet. Continue that same pattern all the way around. So I'm coming up all the way around. I have a front post double crochet, and don't forget I still have this double crochet before I'm finishing off, so I'm chaining a 2, single crochet down into that double crochet, and then we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to join it to the top of the beginning front post double crochet. Okay, so we're skipping over that chain 2 that we did in the beginning. So this is opening up the cables to be even bigger. So let's start on looking at round number 4. So round number 4, we're gonna start making the cables open up. So that's gonna get wider now. So we're going to expand by making 2 front post double crochet into the beginning one, and then we're going to start doing these bobble clusters, and the bobble clusters are actually kind of interesting, and I'll show you how to do that. Now you'll see that this size looks different from these 3 sizes. Don't worry about that. That's just a visual effect. That's just to make it easier for you to see all of the stitch work. So sometimes they make the stitches look bigger to give themselves more room in order to do a diagram such as this. So you can see that we are going to be expanding it here as well. So this one, front post double crochet is going to turn into 2, and then basically we're going to do some clusters. So whenever we do a cluster, we do the front post double crochet, chain 1, cluster, chain 2, cluster, chain 1, and then we expand it again. So let's try number 4. So let's begin number 4. We're going to chain 2, and then we're gonna put in 2 front post double crochets into the very first one. So we're just gonna wrap the hook and go around the post, okay, like so, and we're going to finish that as normal, and then we're gonna do it again. So come around and do the same post again. So that's kind of how you expand it, and basically what's gonna happen is that the second one is gonna kind of look like it's gonna turn a little bit and then be lining up properly. You gotta give it a little bit of a chance. So let's do what we're gonna do next. We're gonna chain 1, and then we're gonna do a cluster. Let me show you how to do a cluster. To do a cluster, all you have to just do is yarn over and go into the single crochet and pull the yarn through and hold it onto your hook. Just kind of use your fingers and kind of pull it back. You're gonna yarn over again and going into the same stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then you're gonna do that one more time. So yarn over, going into the same stitch and pull through. So now you have all of these loops on your hook. Okay, so the instructions are telling you to pull through 6 loops. So it's not pulling through everything that you see here. You're only gonna pull through what you see, the 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you're gonna yarn over and pull through all 6 of those loops, and you'll be left with 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, and that's how you do a cluster. So we're putting in 2 clusters into the same stitch, but in order to do that first we have to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then do another cluster. Let me review on how to do that again. So yarn over into the same stitch, pull through, and hold that onto your hook. Yarn over, same stitch, pull through, and hold it on your hook, and then do it again. Yarn over, pull through, and then you're going to pull it through all 6 stitches. The easiest way I remember is that you just don't pull everything and you stop one short. So just pull it through everything but the last loop, and then yarn over and pull through the final 2. And that's how you do your cluster. So let's continue to around. We're going to chain 1, and then the next front post right here we're going to put in 2 front post double crochets into the same one. So there's 1, and remember it's a front post, and do it again. Okay, so let's review this one more time. So we're going to continue to do more clusters, but in order to do that we have to chain 1 first, and then we're gonna cluster right into the single crochet. So yarn over, single in, pull through, yarn over, same stitch, and yarn over, same stitch. Do that 3 times. Yarn over, pull through all first 6 so that there's 2 left. Yarn over and pull through the final 2. Okay, chain 2 and cluster again. So yarn over, same stitch, yarn over, same stitch, yarn over, same stitch. So pull through all of them but the last one, yarn over and pull through the final 2, chain 1, and then the next front post double crochet is gonna get 2 front post double crochets. Continue that same pattern going all the way around. When you get all the way back around, you just got to make sure you slip stitch to the top of the first front post double crochet. So don't even worry about that. Chain 2 and finish that off. So this is what it looks like at this point. You really can start to see it coming together, but it's not really that obvious yet. Again, as we continue further it's gonna look even more and more amazing. As we continue our journey now to round number 5, we're going to be putting in 2 front post double crochet into one of the front post double crochet and 2 into the next. So these 2 will then expand each one of those into a 4. Okay, so 2 will go into 4, and then we're simply going to follow the same configuration with doing the clusters. So each one of these clusters are now gonna fall into the chain 2 space that's right in between the cluster from the row below. And once you can understand that concept. So you'll notice that the clusters do eventually stop, because what's gonna happen is that as we move beyond this, the clusters are then gonna appear over here, and then these over here are gonna start sweeping over and joining each other as we go. So let's continue our journey with round number 5. Let's go for round number 5. We're gonna chain 2, and then the first front post double crochet is going to get 2 front post double crochet. So we're gonna expand this one into making it 2 this time for row number 5. And the next one front post double crochet that's available to you right here is also going to get 2. So we've now just gone from 2 front post double crochet to 4. And then the cluster area is exactly the same what we just did on the last row. So you chain 1 first, but this time we're going to cluster in between. See the 2 clusters sitting right there? We're gonna do this space right there. So we're gonna do our cluster. Gets a bit easier now. You don't have to worry about getting it into that single crochet space. So you'll find yourself speeding up as you do your cluster work. And then you chain 2 in between the clusters and do it again. So you continue. It's like a V stitch almost with clusters. Okay, and then chain 1, and then your next front post double crochets that you run into, they're each going to get 2 front post double crochets. So you do the first one, you put in 2, and then the next one you put in 2 as well. Continue that same pattern going all the way around, and this pattern should be getting easier and easier for you to understand. So I'm coming up all the way back around, and I've just done my last cluster here, and so basically we've already done our expansion, so we're actually coming around. So we're just gonna chain 1 first, and then just join with the top of the beginning front post double crochet that you started with. Okay, and basically I'm gonna try that again, and basically you can really start seeing the pattern kind of materializing before your eyes. You can see that the cabling is starting to pick up, the others is starting to sink down. This is what the back end looks like, if you're ever interested, and it's really starting to come along nicely. So let's go back to the pattern and review what's next. Coming back to the chart now, we're ready for round number 6. So what's gonna happen from now until we get to round number 8, when we start doing the expansion of these cabling that you see, we're only gonna do it on the front one of each one, so the first one. So we're going to put in 2 into the first front post double crochet that you see on round 5, and then the next 3 are going to be by themselves, and then the clusters areas handled the same way. So when you get to the next one, there's gonna be 2 in the first one, and then each one they're gonna be single, and then the cluster again. So that's pretty simple, right? So let's continue for round number 6. So let's begin. We're going to do round number 6. So chain 2 first, 1 and 2. Now you may have to pull it apart a little bit if you don't see it, but you'll see all 4 of the front post double crochet from round number 5. The first one is gonna get 2 front post double crochet. So 1 and 2 into the same one, and then what's gonna happen then for the others that are still there is that there's going to be 1 in each of the next. So front post double crochet just for one time into the next 3. So it's still expanding, but only on the one side, and it looks amazing when you're done, I have to say. And then once you have that done, you do the clusters as normal. You chain 1, and then you're back into to do your cluster work just like you normally would. So continue to do that same patterning all the way around. So every time you hit these cables, the first one is gonna get 2, and then the next one is going to get 1 each of the front post double crochets. When you get all the way back around, just slip stitch to the top of the beginning front post double crochet to finalize off round number 6, like so. So you can really start seeing the patterning come alive right between your fingers. So let's begin round number 7. Let's begin round number 7, and number 7 we're going to expand in the beginning first stitch again. So just chain up 2 and then 2 front post double crochet into the first one, and then all the rest are going to get 1 each, and then the cluster area is the same thing. So when you come over here again, the first one is gonna get 2, and the next one are all individuals, and then another cluster. So let's begin round number 7. Let's begin round number 7. We're going to simply chain up 2, and then we're going to put into the first one. The first one's always kind of harder to see when you're kind of expanding, but you're going to do the first one for making 2 front post double crochets into that same one. We're still expanding it to be bigger. and then all the rest of them in a row are going to be one each. So the remaining 4 are going to be 1 front post double crochet into each one of those. And you're gonna continue that same patterning going all the way around. So once you get that done, remember your clusters are still the same. Chain 1, cluster, chain 2, cluster, chain 1, and then again when you're over here the first one is gonna get 2 front post double crochet, and then the remaining is gonna get 1 each. Please do that all the way around for round number 4 or round number 7. Thank you. So we're finishing up round number 7. A cluster, a chain 1 is left, and then just join to the top of the beginning front post double crochet just like so. So here is what it's gonna look like at this point. Now we're gonna take a different direction in round number 8 as we then start transitioning that the clusters are now finished here, and we'll start in the middle of where the cables are, and I'll show you that in just a sec on the actual sample. So here's an actual example. Here's the center point down here. So we've just made our way going this way, and right where we are right now is right here. So what's gonna happen here is that one is finishing up here, okay, and the other is just starting to open up here. So as you can see, just like this, okay, so you see how it's gonna fork off this way. This is gonna start making an indent, and this is going to start joining into each other, and it's actually kind of a really neat idea. So that's what we're looking at for round number 8. We're gonna prepare to do so. So let's look back at the diagram. We're now ready for round number 8. Round number 8 we're going to prepare as we start dividing off the cables. Now it's one half is gonna go one way, the other half is gonna go the other way, and a gap is gonna start appearing in between each. Over here what's happening is that we're preparing for this one to start bending over this direction, this one to come this way to finish off the gapping through the clusters that we see here. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna chain 2, and then the first 3 are going to get 1 front post double crochet. We're gonna chain 2, and then we're gonna front post double crochet into the next 3, and then we're gonna chain 2, and we're gonna single crochet in between the clusters. So you're getting a cluster break within round number 8. Once you get this round done, we're gonna graduate from this chart and move on our way to the other one, and it's actually a lot, it's easy. It really is. You just gotta make sure you're just following it along properly. So without further ado, let's try round number 8. Round number 8 we're gonna start off with simply by just chaining 2, and then right here in the first one is going to get 1 front post double crochet only. So we're not gonna do any expansion there, and then the next one is gonna get a front post double crochet, and the next one is gonna get a front post double crochet. There's a total of 6 front post double crochets in the row below. So once you're gonna have 3 going in one direction, 3 going in the other direction. Once you have your first 3 in, you're going to chain 2 to start creating the gapping space that we need, and then we're gonna front post double crochet into the rest of the front post double crochets within this particular spot of your tote bag. So let's figure out what we're gonna do here. The clusters are here. We're simply just going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then single crochet into the center where the clusters are, and then chain 2. We're not clustering, and so then the next 3 that are here. So the first 3 are gonna be front post double crochet. Okay. And followed by a chain 2, because that's gonna separate as well, and then the next 3 are gonna be front post double crochet. Okay, and then you simply chain 2 and then single crochet into the cluster. So this is what you can kind of see is happening here, is that the cluster or the cabling is starting to break up. Half is going in one direction, half's going in the other, and then this gapping is then gonna come to a conclusion. So let's continue that same pattern all the way around. So we're coming up all the way back around. We're going to chain 2 after we've got that 1 single crochet into the last cluster section, and then just join to the top of the beginning front post double crochet. So you've now officially just finished that chart. So if I pull the chart up now, is that you can actually kind of see it. So here is that chart just like so, and so you can see that it kind of matches it, well it should match exactly what you're seeing here, and it's just a prettier version. So we're now finished with the whole round circle area. The bag is not going to get any bigger as far as stitch work, but the bag is still going to expand to be slightly bigger as you continue along. So let's put down our work and let's grab up that other chart and let me explain how to use that one. So here's the diagram that we're looking at, and basically round number 8 is in shade here, and we've already done that. Okay, and you can see that was done on the chart below. So it gives you orientation to where you are. So you're going to continue to follow the diagram just like you see. So instead of a round circle, you're actually not growing any stitches, and you're just gonna start off by just doing, it's all the slip stitching is right here in the middle, and it's just showing you what the repeat pattern is. So you just kind of go that way, and then you just go all the way around in the same pattern, and when you come back it shows you how you're finishing off. So basically you're going to work from this particular 9 right now all the way to 19. You will notice that it says 17, 18, and 19. So this row is repeated 3 more times. Okay, so don't forget that. Once you have this done, then it's gonna ask you to repeat all of this from 8 all the way to 19 once again. Okay, and that'll take you to round number 31. And then once you get that done, you're going to repeat from this row. See how it says 32nd to 37? So you're gonna repeat finally this row all the way to this row before you're finishing off with this whole particular chart. Once you finish that row, this is number 37, what's going to happen is that it already shows 37 here, so that basically it's just showing you repeat, and then basically this is how you finish off at the top. So I've already showed you how to be able to manipulate this, but let's show you again on just following a couple lines on here, and the remaining of this is just a matter of following this chart across in order to make it work, and it's actually relatively simple once you follow that concept. So let's begin round number 9 together. We're going to simply just chain up 2, and then we're gonna do a front post double crochet into the same front post double crochet, chain 2, and we're going to single crochet into the chain 2 space here. So what's happening is that the clusters that are here before this, they were actually right in the middle here. Okay, so we've kind of shifted up and over, and you can see the repeat pattern is going on as you go up. Then it just changes over to the different side as well. So round number 9, we're about to creating that extra space that we need in order for all these clusters, and then this row of clusters that we had that were right in here are finishing up as we go. So let's do round number 9. Let's begin round number 9. We're simply just gonna chain up 2, and then we're gonna front post double crochet into the first 3 that you have. So the front post double crochet into each of the first 3, and they're the only 3 you can have before you get to a space anyway. So now we're going to create more of a gapping space to make room for the clusters, because the clusters are moving from here over to here this time. So we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then single crochet into this chain 2 space in between before you get to the next group of the front post double crochet, and then chain 2, and then front post double crochet the next 3. Okay, we're gonna close off the gapping area here. So this time we're just gonna chain 2, and we're reaching all the way over to where the front post double crochet on the other side, and we're gonna do a front post double crochet there. So you can kind of see in the last round we did the chain 2 single crochet here, and then chain 2, and we're actually creating that same idea over here 1 row up, because we're starting to make space for the next one. So we're gonna front post double crochet the next 2. You've already done the first one. Chain 2, single crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 2, and then front post double crochet the next ones, and continue that same idea going all the way across or all the way around your bag. And you can follow that up in the pattern as well. So as you get back around on round number 9, even though the chart cut off over here, you continued the same pattern, and then the chart picks back up again to show you what to do before you get to the end. And you have to just follow this pattern going up all the way for what it's asking you to do in order to maintain the total look of your bag. So we're just going to finish off with the chain 2, and then just join it to the top at the beginning front post double crochet to finish off that round. Okay, so we can really clearly see some fun stuff is going on here, and let's continue on with round number 10. I'm not gonna be taking you through the entire bag doing this particular concept because I think at this point you can be able to follow the chart on your own. So let's go for round number 10 next. We're gonna just continue to follow this 3 front post double crochet that you see. You can kind of see what's going on here, and what's gonna happen in round number 10 is that they're gonna start working together. So this is the round where this one starts bumping into this one, and etc. So you can kind of see it more clearly here without all the slip stitching. So we're gonna pick up and we're gonna go that way, and then we're gonna come back and come along this way when we come back all the way around. Let's start on row number 10. Let's begin round number 10. We're gonna start off by chaining 2, and then the first 3 are going to be front post double crochets into each, and then we're going to start doing cluster work. So your favorite thing, we're going to just chain 1 and do your clusters just like you would. The first time we're going to do it into the single crochet this round, and then in the next rounds it'll just be into the spaces that are in between the clusters as we go. So let me retry that one more time, just keeping it real here. I found I got a rhythm with these clusters to kind of really speed through them. You will find that as you come along as well. So 1 and 2, so chain 2 in between each one of the clusters, and you always make sure that 2 are going together into the same stitch. And then followed by a chain 1, and then we're gonna do the front post double crochets the next 3. But the fabulous thing about this is that if you look at the chart, there's not just 3. We're going to just immediately just jump over the chain 2 space here, and then just continue to front post double crochet into the next 3 as well. So those will bring those together really quite nicely. So in this round what's gonna happen is that the front posts are gonna start coming into each other. So you can kind of see that they broke off here. 3 are going this way, this is closing in this gap, and it's kind of really cool. So this here is the cluster work again. So chain 1 and do your clusters into the single crochet. Just like we had been doing all along. Pulling it through. I think I might have lost my rhythm. Chain 2 in between the clusters, please. Okay, and we're doing another cluster because we have to do 2 of them, and then chain 1 and then start doing your front post double crochets again. So we have to do our first 3, which I'm doing right now, but we just immediately just jump over that chain 2 space and just front post double crochet the next 3 as well. So just follow that chart as we go. You can follow the rest of this chart on your own. I'm just gonna review it one more time before I get you that far, and you can kind of see this is going across really amazing, and it's actually pretty easy once you understand how to read graphs. So to recap, what we're doing is we're finishing off round number 10 together, and then basically you are gonna go all the way to 19. Remember there's 17 to 19, so you gotta do the same row 3 times. So this is what's creating that break, and if I pull out that other example you should be able to see that as well. Okay, so you can kind of see, do you see how that's together for quite some time before it breaks off? That's the repeat pattern of what you're seeing there. So it just becomes really quite easy to follow. And if you actually look at it even on the chart itself, do you see how that this row, these 3 rows are the exact same? It's no difference from right here. So see how these are exactly the same instruction? You get it? Does that make a lot of sense? Does that make sense? So you're gonna go all the way to 17 and 19, and then you're gonna pick back up again. Start off with round number 8 and go all the way to 19 again, because this is what it's saying here. And then finally you're gonna go, once you get that done, you're gonna go from this row all the way to this row to complete this. And then you're gonna pick up and do this, what you see over here. So it's actually kind of really neat. What's gonna happen at the top of the bag is that even though we're closing off one section for the whole clusters, we're not starting another one, so then the ending becomes really quite easy. Let me pull up the example again. What's gonna happen at the top, just like so. Do you see that? So basically it just goes a nice long run. It no longer divides up by the time you get up there, and it's actually quite easy. So let's review on how to do the handle, and the handle is just sewn into position just quite nicely as you go, and there are obviously 2 handles to work with. So let's review on how to do the handle. You will need 2 strands in order to do the handle, so you'll need 2 balls working at one time, and basically we're going to create a slip knot, and we're gonna create a chain of 84. So just using the same size hook that you had
Maybe if I actually use the same size hook I'd be a lot happier. So just like so, and we're going to chain 84. I'm not going to do that on camera with you today. You know how to chain it, just quickly review. So just yarn over and pull through, and you're gonna go all the way to 84, just like really quite easily. Once you get all the way to 84, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna ask you to go a fourth chain from the hook. So you count back 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then just yarn over and into the fourth chain of the hook. You're going to double crochet, and you're going to double crochet yourself all the way back across your strap. Okay, you need to make 2 straps, by the way, so you have to do this twice. And by using 2 strands it makes the handle extra strong too. They call it a strap in the pattern, just so you're aware. And you're gonna go all the way back to the beginning of your handle. Okay, all the way back to the beginning of the chain, and then we're gonna do one more thing before we can finish off doing the handle. Once you get all the way to the end, what you're going to do is you're gonna fold so that the right side is together. So this is the right side that we're finishing off with. So I haven't turned my work yet. I'm just still looking at it as if I've just finished. So I wanna fold it just like this, and I wanna insert my hook into the corresponding other side of the foundation, like so. And I'm just going to grab my yarn, and I'm just gonna pull through that stitch and that stitch. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna match the sides of a stitch to each other. So I'm just gonna go to the next one here on the top, and then I'm gonna move down into the next one, okay, on the other side, and I'm gonna pull through just like this. And you wanna just be a little bit gentle with this in the sense that you just gotta take your time. You just gotta move down, and you're just slip stitching everything together. I'm making it look more complicated than it is, and just slip stitching everything. You wanna make sure that when you're slip stitching you do give it a bit of extra slack. Slip stitching can always be tight, and so I'm just gonna slip stitch the sides together just like so, and you end up with an entire handle that is all completely nicely done. So here's what the handle would look like when you're done. Okay, so they're just slip stitched together. It's a nice firm handle to hang on to. And then once you have that done, you just have to go into the and sew the ends. So leave an extra straggler at the beginning and the ends of your tails, and so then you can just sew those into position, and you can kinda eye it up as well on the bag on where you want them to appear. What I did is that I looked for the middle section of one area here and the middle of the next over here, and then I did the same on both sides in order to keep the bag looking consistent when I went to go sew it together. So this is how you do the rich textures tote. Love this pattern. It introduced me to cables for the very first time, and I think it's a brilliant way to start doing cable work and understanding how to get it done.
So that's it for today. You know, we love to see your creativity. Make sure you post your photos on Facebook. We love to see your celebration of creativity. And until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations as well as thecrochetcrowd.com. We'll see you.